Can I ask where the unbridled loyalty to Devin Williams came from? This is his first year on the team and his only year on the team.
It's going to be his only year on the team. Yeah.
Where did this magical amount of loyalty come from with Devin Williams? I don't get it.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, This is bad for podcasting, but we can't really speak right now. We will.
Oh, I'm here. My mic's
started.
connected. I'm here.
Yeah.
The silence should be deafening to all of you.
Yeah. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified when our videos go live. We have a TikTok page. If you're there, follow us at LockedOn_Yankees. On today's show, we'll preview the finale against the Rangers, which is now turned into Please Don't Get Swept. That's the game that it turned into. And we'll tell you some news from around the league. We're going to have an Aaron Boone discussion. We were going to have it before the game happened, and then the game happened. So let's talk about Game 2 against Texas. My God. Okay. They couldn't hit. They had two hits the entire game. Volpe and McMahon. That was it. No one was
McMahon one was in the ninth inning too.
Right. It was like their last gasp of breath before dying. And so I'm not blaming Boone for that, right? I'm not blaming
purposes, though. They were one hit.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. What I am blaming him for, why can't this man make bullpen decisions that don't want to make me rip my hair out, my already thinning hair? I don't need to rip any more hair out of my head. I'm already losing it as it is. Why does he keep doing this? What was the point of what he did? Because at first it was good, what he did with the bullpen. And then you see Devin Williams coming in and you're thinking to yourself, really? And then, of course, Devin Williams gets into trouble and Boone's just sitting there.
Can I ask where the unbridled loyalty to Devin Williams came from? This is his first year on the team and his only year on the team.
It's going to be his only year on the team, yeah.
Where did this magical amount of loyalty come from with Devin Williams? I don't get it. And then you've seen him struggle over the last 2 months, really the entire year. He had a good June. That was it. But you've seen him struggle over the last now month and a half. You, specifically yesterday where he blows the save, you bring him into this game. He starts struggling. You have Bednar up and ready to go. Why are you keeping him in the game? What are you doing? Nothing about that.
But why are you even putting him in the game? But why are you even putting him in the game after what happened on Monday night? Like, I get the whole, let him redeem himself sort of thing.
That's the only thing I'll get.
But the thing that annoyed me about his post game was that he said that he had one bad pitch in his outing, the Peterson pitch. That's not true, Devin. That's not the only bad pitch that you threw.
And even if, because Boone reiterated the same thing, Williams really only threw one bad pitch to Peterson. Yeah, and you know what, Stacey? The captain of the Titanic he really hit one iceberg. He still lost the baseball game. Like, I really don't want to hear that. Like, I don't really care that the one hit was a home run, which couldn't happen, and it tied the game, and you wound up losing. So I don't really care that it was one bad pitch. You still lost the baseball game, and you couldn't afford to throw one bad pitch because you were only up one run in the game because your damn offense can't score any more runs. So I don't want to hear it. I get the point of wanting to give a guy a chance to redeem himself. I hear you, but we can't be playing cutesy little nice games with your feelings now that they're a game and a half above the Rangers. Now they're not that anymore. They're going to be out of a playoff spot within a week. You can't play these games so Devin Williams feels nice and cuddly inside on the way out. I don't care how Devin Williams feels. I don't. And if you want to bring him in because you like the matchups and the analytics tell you that, you know what? The analytics have gotten you here for the last 8 years. I have no problem with that. That's how this baseball team runs. We're not going to change that. Once you see Devin Williams, either when a guy makes contact, he absolutely laces the ball. And when he doesn't make contact, it's because he was walked. When you see Devin Williams having those struggles like he's had all year, and there's a bullpen arm ready to go, and you're not going to use Bednar if they're down in the game, what are you waiting for? And you see him at the top of the dugout, like waiting and looking back. And what are you waiting for? Go. Why would you keep Devin Williams in that spot? It makes like no sense at all.
It's deja vu from last year. It's the same thing.
But the loyalty to a guy who got here, they just got here. He just got here a few months ago. The loyalty makes no sense to me. Where does it come from? It's crazy behavior, and it spoils a good start from Will Warren. But the whole bullpen thing makes no sense and is so dumb and is so stupid. But like you said at the start, Stacey, they got one hit. Like, or 2 hit technically with the last minute hit from McMahon, but can we not sit here? Yes, Boone's awful and deserves to get fired, and we'll dive into that in segment 2. But they also didn't do anything on offense the entire game. They got completely bent over by Nathan Eovaldi again for like the 10th time in the last God knows how many years. I mean, do we have to sit here and see this team get embarrassed? All we talk about is analytics and film and where pitches are and how they attack guys. Do we study that on the opponent? Clearly no, because Nathan Eovaldi has run with the same game plan for the last 5 years on the Yankees, and every single time it's the same exact start for Eovaldi. It's a 2-hitter with 10 strikeouts, and the Yankees don't score. I mean, I can't. How are we watching this team every single day, and they go forward with the same manager, with the same plan, with the same attitude into every single game? I don't get it, Stacey.
Yeah, so let's add insult to injury. So these are some numbers that I saw from James Smythe of the S Network. He put up about Devin Williams. So from 2022 to 2024, he had a 1.66 ERA. He gave up 26 earned runs in 141 innings. In this season, he has a 5.44 ERA. He's given up 26 earned runs in 43 innings.
98 innings less, and he's given up the same amount of runs. It's absolutely insane. He's been no good, but that's the thing, Stacey. If you see him playing as poor as he's played, you got to adjust as a manager. This manager has no remote ability to adjust to how Devin Williams has been all year.
No.
I can't comprehend that at all. So they acquired Devin Williams in what month was it? Was it February, January, whatever it was? They acquired Devin Williams in the offseason to come over here. And it seems like the moment they acquired him, Boone sat down at his fancy desk in his fancy house and analyzed or thought about, how am I going to use Devin Williams this year? And he landed on screw Luke Weaver, the guy who got us to the World Series last year.
Yeah.
And landed on Devin Williams as our closer. And no matter what happens, he will be the closer the entire year. That's the only explanation I can come up with, because nothing Devin Williams has done other than get hurt this year has taken him out of the closer role.
Yeah, and Weaver's looked great. You know, he looks like he's totally back from the injury. He may have come back too soon from that injury, which is why he looked iffy when he first came back. But now he's looking like Luke Weaver of 2024. And
Duvall looked great.
Yeah. Duvall looked good, but he does the same thing over and over again, and there's not punishment, but there's no, I guess, accountability for it.
That's the word. That's the word. There's not a single bit of accountability on this roster. And I'm not saying accountability has to be in the post game, rip the guy to shreds because he blew a save. It's going to happen. But you know what? The accountability here is, all right, well, you're not coming in tomorrow when it's a 1-run game and we need you to hold it there.
Well, hopefully he's not going to be in.
One singular positive I can mention, Volpe's fielding was tremendous in this game. Not that it buys him much because he's been awful all year. His fielding was tremendous in this game.
Yeah.
And I love that too. The best game of the year that Volpe has had by far, that's the guy you pinch hit for at the end.
Well, you know how We're how many seasons into this, and he just has not gotten better. He's actually gotten worse.
That's the best point. Yeah.
If we're being real, he's gotten worse. And he has, by all accounts, a better bullpen right now than last week at this time.
Stacey, he admitted earlier in the day that this is the most talented roster he's ever had. Which, I mean, talk about starting to dig your own grave.
Right. And it's like, you're not helping yourself, Aaron.
At all.
If you're saying that kind of stuff and this team is spiraling the way they are and you're not doing anything to help it. Yeah, it's tiring watching this team. And we get it. We have to watch this for our job, right? And we say this a lot, especially with the way the Yankees have been playing since the beginning of June. Oh, that was okay. So the Yankees and Rockies, what was it? 14 and 28 in the same span. Like they both had the same records.
Yeah.
Also, the quote from Ben Rice that I muffed up on yesterday's show, he said that they need to play with a sense of urgency, and he's not seeing that right now. That's what he said. And at least he's saying it. You know, the kid who's basically a rookie is like, where other guys are like, yeah, we're the best team in baseball. Right. You know, we're the best team. It's fine. This is all fine. And even the captain of the team kind of relayed that about 2 weeks ago before he got hurt, where he's like, oh yeah, we'll turn this around. When are we turning it around? When you get out of a playoff spot? When you're knocked out of a playoff spot, is that when you're going to try and turn it around and then you're not going to be able to catch up to the guys who are ahead of you? Is that when you're going to turn things around?
How about the people making the point earlier on Tuesday that, maybe Aaron Judge back in the lineup will give them the spark they need? Yeah, that worked.
All right. It's Nathan Eovaldi. He had, what did he have? A 1.79 ERA coming into this start. Like, he shuts everyone down, and he's always shut the Yankees down. I was not expecting them to do anything against him. And I have to say, I know he only lasted 5 innings, but I was impressed with Warren going toe-to-toe with him, at least for those 5 innings where, you know, it wasn't one of those games where the Yankees are shut down and the other team scores, and you know there's absolutely no chance of them doing anything in the game. But the fact that the game was 0-0 to a certain point until Devin Williams came in, I was like, all right, well, that's better than what it usually is, I guess. But I'm not gonna destroy them for getting destroyed by Nathan Eovaldi, given how he pitches. But man, how does Brian Cashman watch him pitch like that and not feel, I don't know, like, what do you feel? You had this guy on your team and you couldn't harness any of this, and he got better as soon as he left the Yankees for 2 different teams?
Much better. He became one of the elite arms in the sport.
Yeah. And he had flashes of that when he was with the Yankees. He just couldn't quite, like, you would watch Eovaldi starts and you would see the flashes of what he's become now, but then there would always be kind of like a letdown inning or something happening or an injury, you know? And then he leaves the Yankees and everything is hunky-dory. It's like the story of our lives watching this team in the recent years, like the last 15 years of watching this team. You just see other guys leave and you're just like, so what's that? It's not managerial. It's general managerial and ownership.
Pathetic.
All right. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. We send you texts about roster moves and any kind of, there were a lot of roster moves. We'll get into them in a little bit because we forgot to mention that, but guys were up, guys were down, and things were happening. I send out the lineups every day. The insiders will complain to me about the games, and boy, if we had a lot of things to complain about recently. And you get top priority on Fan Mail Friday when you're an insider. So there's a 14-day free trial. It's a lot of fun. I suggest you do it. So coming up, Brian has a lot to say about Aaron Boone, so I'm going to let him do that next.
You ever wish managing your money felt easier? Well, with Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning for a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over all of your finances. Monarch is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. What was one surprising thing that I noticed about Monarch is the fact that you can have specific categories like subscriptions or anything you want to be able to track really where you're spending all your money. And if you share your finances with anybody, Monarch has a way to help you all stay on the same page together. You got financial goals that you can set, anything that you're looking towards, all your accounts in one place. And that makes it easy for anybody to get through the daily hurdle of financial struggle. You don't need more of that in your life, and Monarch's going to simplify it for you. So here's what you do. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Stacey, if you frequented WFAN back in the day, there was always a famous quote by Mike Francesa, who would consistently say that he felt that he could manage the Yankees. I don't know how true that is, and he never would have gotten the opportunity. However,
thank God.
if I had the opportunity right now to choose Mike Francesa or Aaron Boone as manager of this Yankee team, I would legitimately choose Mike Francesa. And I'm not kidding you when I say that. I would actually rather have Mike Francesa, because if there's one thing Mike Francesa would do with this roster, I'm not guaranteeing you he'd give you the perfect lineup. I'm not guaranteeing you he'd give you the perfect bullpen decisions. I don't know any of that. What I do know, Mike Francesa would hold this roster accountable. He'd hold this team accountable. And some of the bonehead moves that Aaron Boone has made over the last 5, 6, 7 years as manager of the Yankees are moves that I know for a fact Mike Francesa wouldn't have made. Now, I'm not sitting here on Locked On Yankees and telling you all that Mike Francesa should be replaced as manager of the Yankees. I'm not doing that. The point that I'm making is just about anybody on the planet, I would rather have manage this team than Aaron Boone right now. That's how bad it's gotten. And this segment, by the way, was written by me on my lunch break from work before this game was played prior in the night. Just to throw that out there for you guys, all right? Let's go back to the weekend with the play with Jazz Chisholm, where it was a routine pop-up in the infield, where Jazz said that he was trying to deke out the infielder, which made absolutely no sense because it's not a Little League game and he's not going to drop the pop fly. And because Jazz said, quote, he's played here before and has experience. Jazz, every baseball field in the infield is the same dimensions, okay? That makes no sense whatsoever. It's not a football stadium. You don't have home field advantage. I don't know what you're talking. That made absolutely no sense. Whatever. Jazz gets to the dugout and is pulled aside by Aaron Boone to speak privately. And then after the game, when Jazz was asked about that play, he deliberately says he would do the exact same thing again, knowing the result. Did the message not get clear from the manager? Like, at all? Clearly,
Well, no.
He didn't hear a word the manager said. Clearly, he didn't care what the manager said, because if he cared at all what the manager said, he wouldn't have given that response, Stacey. And there's a myriad of things of the manager just not getting his message through and not being a lick of accountability, because if there was accountability, I could tell you this. And if Mike Francesa were managing that team, if Stacey Gotsulias were managing that team, if Joe Torre were managing that team, or name anyone that ever existed ever and knows the game of baseball had been managing that team, they would have benched Jazz Chisholm Jr. after that play. No one would have left him in the game after that play. But hey, when you run the country club of the New York Yankees, and there's no fear you're going to sit, there's no fear with the mistake that you make, because your butt's never touching that bench. You're going to play the next day. You can be Austin Wells and forget how many outs there are and walk off the bases. You can be Jazz Chisholm Jr. and try to deke out an infielder on an infield pop fly. You could be Anthony Volpe and make the most errors in the entire league, and you don't got to play with a lick of fear under your butt, Stacey, because you're never going to sit ever.
Nope.
My 5th grade teacher held me to more accountability when I went to school every day. My girlfriend holds me to more accountability every single day. There is so many reasons in life. This is the New York Yankees. This is supposed to be the premier example of winning and success in the world. And I can think of every scenario that I'm in life right now, and I am held to accountability. Stacey, if there was anybody that worked on our show, including the two of us, that performed at a level of carelessness equal to what the Yankees perform at on a daily, they'd be off the show. That's including the two of us. Neither of us are allowed to care that little and still work. Locked On would say, get out of here. On any scenario, any employee within this company. But the New York Yankees, who are supposed to be the staple of success, the prime example of what it means to win in anything, you're supposed to be clean shaven every day, act like you're a military man and respect everybody and yada, 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 and win. And we spend money and we win and we develop. We don't do any of that. They don't do any of that. No one's held accountable for anything they do, for any of their failures, for any of their carelessness. None of it matters, and it all rots from the head with the manager, with the owner, with the general manager. It's all happening right in front of all of you. I don't think there's many people that are out there that are supporting Aaron Boone anymore, but if you're supporting Brian Cashman, maybe look a little deeper into this organization, because the current owner only cares that he turns green at the end of the year. If they're making a profit, that's what matters. The only hope that I have personally as a fan that cares about it, because unfortunately I can't turn it off. Emotionally, personally, work-related wise, I get a paycheck to watch the Yankees play, so I got to watch them anyway. And quite honestly, I can't watch them. I can't not watch them play anyway. I've been doing it every day since I was 6 years old. I watch them every night regardless. But I've never seen a season this embarrassing. I've never seen a season this bad. They make little league mistakes on a daily. Can I go through just some of the basic things, Stacey, that I've had a problem with over the last couple of years? Just a little bit. Name me the big game the Yankees win under Aaron Boone. Name me the big, they gotta have this one tonight, game that they've won under him. Better yet, the biggest rival and the biggest rival for the team, the Boston Red Sox. Name me a big time he's beaten the Red Sox. 2018, you beat them in Fenway Park, go back 1-1 against the Yankees. Boombox walking out, you get embarrassed on your home field and don't win. Oh, do we want to go? And that same series, you bring in Lance Lynn out of the bullpen, which made no sense whatsoever, blows the game, loses the series against one of the greatest regular season teams of all time. Do I need to go on? How about the wild card game, where Garrett Cole pitches and gets heckled in the bullpen prior, and the Yankees get embarrassed out of Fenway Park? I mean, do we remember that? How about the year where they're playing in the COVID year against the Tampa Bay Rays in Petco Park, and they put Davy Garcia on the mound to follow him up by a guy who's not even in the league anymore? Do we need to keep going? Should we keep going? There's plenty of reasons I don't understand how you keep this guy employed. None of this gets corrected. You have last year where, I'm sorry, a team got to the World Series where Emmanuel Clase might have been betting games to lose anyway and blowing saves. You beat a Royals team that clearly wasn't ready and isn't going to make the playoffs this season to get to the World Series. Oh, and by the way, the team that embarrassed you in the World Series is still mocking you to this day and auctioned off the ball that was dropped by your generational talent who's going to go to Monument Park. And they're making the same mistakes they made in that World Series. The same things they're being mocked for, they're still making mistakes on. I don't know how you can sit here and mess up this much. There is not a single place in life where you could be this poor at your job and not be at bare minimum held accountable for your actions. No one on this roster is held for their actions. No one. I've simply had it with this manager. It was pretty much split with the organization after 2017 what they were going to do with Joe Girardi, right? And they let him go. And some of you may have liked it. Some of you might not have liked it. But I think most of you could have sat there and understood why they made the move and not really had a huge problem with them moving on. You might not have thought it was the right time, but okay, they want to move on in a different direction. I see what they're doing. I would kill for Joe Girardi to be back as a manager of the Yankees right now. I would do anything to have that guy as highly strung. He had no problem benching players, no problem sitting players, no problem calling guys out. And maybe this team needs that desperately.
They do. It's not going to happen with this guy. No matter what he says. No matter what he says about, oh, well, you might not see the accountability, but it's there. Is it? Because with the way they come out and play every night, it doesn't seem like there is much of it.
Right? We hold each other to more accountability on the show on a daily.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It is. I mean, we both do things for the show on a daily, and we're both held accountable way more than anyone on the Yankee roster is. It's pathetic. Look at this, Stacey. April 10th to May 29th, 2019, 14-26 stretch. You want to pull up the graphic? I mean, of all of this, I mean, look at this.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have a graphic for it.
July 5th, July 5th to
from
August 30th of 2023, 15 and 25. June 1st to July 21st of 2021, 16 and 24. June 13th to June 22nd of 2025, 16 and 24. April 10th to May 30th of 2022, 17 and 23. How many stretches per year are they going to play at a well below 500 clip until you realize,
and
hey, maybe this is working out?
Even the COVID year, they had an 18 and 22 stretch, which is why they only finished 33 and 27.
Is there a team in professional sports where this is acceptable?
Yeah.
And you consider yourselves the gold standard.
Now, to be fair, the 2019 team ended up winning 103 games. That stretch was in the beginning, and they had a bunch of injuries. And then they started picking things up, and things were okay. But almost every other stretch there is the June and July and August months. The Yankees make it so you don't want to watch them in the summer when you're off from work, when you're on vacation, you want to listen on the radio on the beach. They make it so you don't want to because they're so bad.
I mean, I'll sit here right now. If I didn't get paid to watch this team, there's no chance on a weekend I'm going to sit down and watch them play the Marlins instead of going in the pool, going to the beach. I mean, I'm being, and if you watch us, which you should, to get the information on the team, we'll provide it for you every single day. You can always go to our channel and see what happened. But if you're not watching the game because you'd rather be out with your girlfriend to dinner or lunch or whatever, or you'd rather be out at the movies seeing Freakier Friday, or you'd rather be in the pool or whatever you'd rather be doing, I can't sit here and blame you whatsoever. I can't.
Yeah. Well, they have another game against Texas. And then thankfully there's an off day on Thursday. So we're going to preview the last game in Texas, and we'll tell you some news from around the league next.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gameday Hue, and so is this hat that I'm wearing. For Locked On Yankees fans like myself, this one always hits the mark. Now, Gameday Hue makes clean, no-logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. If there's a Locked On show for it, you can find that color way. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. There's no giant logos. It's just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. And I love rocking it on the course. It's subtle, it's stylish, and I can always rep my team whenever I want. Plus, the hat fits perfectly with my usual gear. It doesn't replace my team's logo stuff. It's just really adding to my versatile lineup. It's the hat too represents my team. It doesn't scream it. It's subtle. It says everything I need. Plus, I got these really cool golf gloves that match too. It's not just the hats. They got split shade gloves made for the golf course, or the perfect gift for any fan who already has everything. It's really perfect to add to anything. So right now you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GamedayHue.com. That's GamedayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GamedayHue.com, code MLB15. Not only do we cover your team every day, but we are giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees Postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman, and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed, as well as streaming on our YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees Postcast. So, Stacey, Wednesday will be an early afternoon game for the Yankees. It's a 2:35 start, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It will be a yes game. It'll be Carlos Rodon, who's 11-7 with a 3.34 ERA. He'll go against Jack Leiter, who's 7-10 with a 4.10. I will say this, Yankee fans, if you're out there listening, the Jack Leiter has pitched tremendous over the last stretch. He's been really good for the Rangers. He's had a couple of really good starts in a row. So that 4.10 ERA, which usually should scare you if you're a Yankee fan, should be a little scarier because of how well Jack Leiter has pitched over the last month or so. It is a 2:35 start. As I said, Yankees are actually, weirdly enough, favored in this game, probably because of the pitching matchup. But again, Jack Leiter's been really good. They both have the same record now. Yankees have a game in the loss column, but the Rangers and Yankees are currently only separated by a half game in the wild card. For that
Great
last
job,
wild card.
everyone. Great job, everyone. Like,
Yeah, the Cleveland team that sold is a game and a half back from the Yankees.
So before we get into news around the league, let's just quickly discuss this. So my brother was at the game on Tuesday night in Texas. He flew down south and west, I guess, to see his college roommate who lives in OKC. And they usually go see the Rangers when they can. My brother's been there a few times, but this was my brother's view on Tuesday night. And so he witnessed that debacle in person. He said, he had a good time because he was surrounded by other Yankee fans, but they were all, miserable when they left. But
if you guys remember, I was there for the All-Star game last year, and I loved it. Like, at least your brother is getting to witness that stadium. The stadium is gorgeous, and the whole compound there, because they built it up, Stacey. It's right across the street from the old Rangers Stadium, which I by the way, one of my favorite ballparks ever. Now, it wasn't feasible because it was about 147 degrees there on the field during a day game, but it is a gorgeous stadium, and it's still all the same. And it's also across the street from the Cowboys Stadium. And right in the middle of all of that is Texas Live, which is basically this giant kind of mega mall with just restaurants and bars and giant TV screens. It's really a cool area. But that stadium is beautiful, the Texas Rangers Stadium. Like, at least your brother is getting to enjoy that. Hopefully he's sitting down in Texas Live right now with the drink of his choice to kind of wash his sorrows down. But yeah, at least he's having fun there. But otherwise, I mean,
yeah, he flew to
I don't know if he's going to see a win tomorrow either.
Yeah, he flew to Texas on Tuesday, went right to the ballpark to well, I think he went to the hotel first, and then he went to the ballpark to see the Yankees lose. So there's one item from around the league. So why don't you tell everyone what's going on?
Yeah, so the Cubs really didn't make a lot of noise during the deadline, which was kind of weird to everybody. They did pick up Mike Soroka, though, who you thought, okay, that could be a decent addition to their rotation, clearly. He gets added to the IL almost immediately after joining the Cubs. He said he went to add a little extra to his fastball in his last appearance yesterday, and then he felt a grab in his shoulder. So if you're a Cubs fan, I would not expect to see him back ever, because that's a terrible, terrible, terrible sign.
Yeah,
I mean that's as bad as you can hear, right?
Yeah, you don't want to hear grabbing of anything in any body part, but especially the shoulder when you're a pitcher.
Yeah, and especially when he says that he tried to add a little extra to his fastball, so he tried to give it a little more oomph and then felt to grab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, in sort of Yankees news, Stacey, the Padres optioned J.P. Sears. So he was involved, obviously, in the Mason Miller trade. Former Yankee is now optioned down to AAA. So, not great.
Speaking of that, Jake Bird, we forgot to mention that. Jake Bird was sent down to AAA. JT Brubaker was DFA'd. Mark Leiter Jr., you saw him in Tuesday night's game. He was activated. Obviously, Aaron Judge, too. But the Bird thing and the Brubaker thing I was surprised about because he wasn't bad for the Yankees.
Yeah, I haven't seen any news on him being claimed yet, so I guess they're hoping he gets through waivers. But that one was surprising because he's pitched really well for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Didn't get that at all. And Jake Bird, I know he struggled since he got here, but you trade for a guy and then immediately send him down, that doesn't look really good. And is it really his fault for being sent into every spot they've used him so far has been awful.
Yeah.
But they haven't put him in one good position and they sent him out to AAA.
Yeah, that's another, that's a Boone issue. That's not a Jake Bird issue. But if they're going to work on something with him, or maybe it was just because they had to bring certain guys up and they had to put certain guys down and he'll be back up and it's not that big a deal. They just had to, shuffle the roster a little bit. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. You get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this episode of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you tomorrow.